There may be turmoil in number 10 Downing Street tonight, and Boris Johnson's premiership is clearly on the line. We will be talking about the machinations behind the scenes as the show goes on. But I want to start tonight with what really matters, and that is how on earth we're going to be able to afford to pay our energy bills this year. The cost of living crisis, which I've been warning about for well over a year, is finally starting to bite, and I think will provide the biggest challenge for this government. The Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, decided to go on a spending spree today rather than solve the crisis with tax cuts, which is what I would have liked to have seen. Scrapping VAT on energy bills is a Boris Brexit promise that should have been delivered, given he called the tax unfair and damaging during the 2016 EU referendum campaign. And these ridiculous green levies, which I'm going to come to in a moment, just have to go. When will the government realise a craven push to net zero is simply too much for struggling families to take? But at least Mr Sunak did something immediate, given Ofgem's record energy price gap rise from £1,278 to £1,971 in April, which, let's be honest, will see some poor folk forced to make the decision between heating and eating. So Sunak's £9 billion package includes a £200 energy rebate for every British household in October, with a further 4 in 5 households covered by an extra £150 in council tax rebates.
Absolutely recognise this is a difficult time. Right? I know this is probably the number one issue on most families' minds. You know, they're looking at the news, they're seeing prices go up, they're worried about the cost of living and in particular energy, and that's why we're taking action. And I really believe that what we're doing, £350, it's a significant amount of money that will make a big difference to the vast majority of households. And I think people, I hope, actually will be reassured by us stepping in to provide that support to ease some of the adjustment that this is.
The optics of him standing at the Downing Street podium tonight, not lost on me. But in the topsy-turvy world of British politics right now, it was Labour advocating for Boris to deliver on his Brexit VAT promise, a decision that has raised the ire of true blue Conservatives like Peter Bone, who correctly reminded the Chancellor this.
Conservatives believe in holding taxes down and putting more money in the people's pockets, and so they can decide how to spend it. Socialists believe in raising taxes and then choosing to give it back in the form of discounts and rebates to selected people the government think need it.
But this problem isn't going away, with soaring energy prices expected until the end of 2025. And this is where I fear the government's net zero obsession could drag them down. When will Boris stop listening to Carrie and realise his premiership is at stake over this issue far more than Partygate? When prices were under control, many folk had a little idea of just how much of our energy bills goes on these green taxes. But I want to break it down for you now. A typical bill of just over £1,200 includes £528 on wholesale costs, £268 on network costs, £204 on operating costs, but this is where it gets interesting. £159 on green levies, £61 on VAT, and then that leaves a £23 profit for the energy providers. Just imagine the difference. With the green levies and VAT gone, it would be a Conservative solution to this energy crisis. As Tory rebel Steve Baker, a man I greatly respect, put it, once again, they are piling intervention on intervention when we should be a free market Conservative government. The levies should be suspended and moved on to general taxation. All the same, Rishi's big spending move was largely greeted with positivity by senior Tory backbenchers.
Many families across the country will struggle with their energy bills this year, so I am grateful that we have a Chancellor who's in touch with that.
But with the Bank of England raising the base interest rate from 0.25% to 0.5% and signalling further rises can be expected because of soaring inflation, I get the feeling today's measures will not be enough to ensure the cost of living crisis doesn't become terminal for the Tories unless more is done to cut the tax burden, and to do that soon.